Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia for you. Firstly, it seems some Tigray fighters, or you can say those who entered Alamata, they were mostly armed by, that's why we call them Tigray fighters. Some Tigray fighters have been killed in an attack last night. It happened around 8 hours ago, you can say. What happened? I reported about a small scale clash which happened 2 days ago in Alamata. This time, there was a targeted attack on Tigray fighters in Alamata city. Secondly, Ethiopia is going to import its fuel through Berbera port. Announcement came last night from Berbera mayor. Berbera was in Addis Ababa last night. What was he doing there? Firstly, viewers, the Tigray, we know that Tigray fighters entered southern zone last month. Since then, they have been trying to expand their control. They are trying to restore the border, which stood on November 2020 when the war broke out between Tigray fighters and Ethiopian Federal Forces. I did a video 2 days ago, rather yesterday I did a video, I think. I told you about the movement of Tigray fighters from Alamata towards Vaja, from Koram towards Sikota. Objective is that Tigray wants to capture high places on border area so that its territory, which it claims is safe, and it is able to govern these territories. In Alamata, I reported 3 to 4 days ago that hundreds of Tigray fighters entered. Still, I stand by my report. Hundreds of Tigray fighters entered there, based at some schools, trying to install an interim setup there, administrative setup there. Amhara people, though fled, but some are there in Alamata. Amhara Fano, Amhara militia members also fled, but it seems that they are carrying out small scale attacks on Tigray fighters, targeted attacks on Tigray fighters. Last night, a bar was hit in Alamata city. Hand grenades were thrown at a bar in Alamata city. Reportedly, several hand grenades were thrown, and some Tigray fighters were there at the bar when this attack was carried out. I think 6 or 7 people were seriously injured in this attack, and reportedly, at least 3 died. That is what we have learned, but I have not been able to get pictures or videos from the area. But I confirm to the best of my abilities that grenade attack was carried out on a bar in Alamata city last night. Some Tigray fighters have been killed. People would say, Sajid, you call them Tigray fighters always. They're not Tigray fighters. They're just unarmed civilians. These are new arrivals in Alamata. Those who were hit are new arrivals in Alamata city. So whether you call them Tigray fighters or whatever you call them, IDPs are still not back in Alamata. Their return did not start. So it's very likely that those hundreds of Tigray fighters who entered Alamata this week, some visited this bar and the attack was carried out. Now, these types of attacks are being carried out in Amhara too. Hit and run attacks, hand grenades being thrown by Fano fighters. I have reported dozens so far in Vollo, Gondar, Gujjam, Shoa. Prosperity Party leaders, government officials have been killed in similar attacks. So, same tactic which is being used by Fano fighters in Amhara region now is being used by, you can say, Amhara militia members in Alamata city. It means that Amhara militia members don't want to launch a full-scale offensive on Alamata. At the same time, they will try to continue. They'll try to have some presence here, and they'll try to carry out these attacks on Tigray fighters, Tigray administrative structure in Alamata city. No statement from Tigray interim government so far. I think statement will be issued very soon. Secondly, about Somaliland, Ethiopia ties. Last night, I told you there was a celebratory program in Addis Ababa. I mentioned that in last night's live chat. Celebration with song, firework display, speeches by officials from the two sides. Berbera mayor specially came to Ethiopia. He delivered a speech in Addis Ababa yesterday. Other Somaliland government officials too, diplomatic staff as well, members of diplomatic staff of Somaliland's embassy to Ethiopia, and Ethiopian officials participated too. Somaliland celebrates its Independence Day on the 18th of May, but celebration in Ethiopia was held last night on the 28th of May. Berbera mayor delivered a speech and he made an important announcement. We heard a few days ago, if you remember, by a Somali land minister. I think he was director of their ports. He said that 30% of Ethiopian cargo would be diverted to Berbera port. 30% of cargo from Djibouti. But Berbera mayor last night announced that all Ethiopian fuel imports will come through Berbera port. And Ethiopian fuel exports will use Berbera port as well. I don't think Ethiopia exports much fuel, but it imports a lot. And a special terminal was built in Djibouti for Ethiopian fuel imports, I think. Ethiopia is planning to divert its fuel imports from Djibouti to Berbera. Ethiopia has already diverted its fertilizer imports from Djibouti to Lamu port of Kenya. A few days ago, first shipment of Ethiopian fertilizer imports arrived at Lamu port. From there, it then entered Ethiopian territory. Kenya is offering reduced tariffs to Ethiopian government. That is why Ethiopia started using Lamu port. Secondly, it was due to instability too in the Red Sea. Houthis attacking and Houthi fired projectiles are landing very close to Djibouti's coast. Because of instability and because of reduced tariff proposed by Kenya, Ethiopia started using Lamu port of Kenya for fertilizer imports. Now, for fuel, Ethiopia would start using Berbera port. Djibouti is going to be in trouble, definitely in trouble. It has been reliant on Ethiopian imports, exports for years. Its economy will definitely be affected. By the way, IMF, World Bank have been warning Djibouti for years that Djibouti should broaden the base of its economy. It should not be fully reliant on Ethiopian imports, exports. Ethiopia won't stop using Djibouti's ports too, but it would like to use more than one ports: Berbera, Lamu, Djibouti ports. Thank you.